to be picked by this franchise, and just be in this locker room around such great guys, and just the guys upstairs, the coaches upstairs, just super excited to get going.
Did you lock up with Scott Peters again? Have you had round 2 yet?
Not yet.
Is that tempting every time you see him now? After you like when you keep getting that work in immediately. I mean, you're not supposed to be able to do it on the field.
I told him I'm gonna try to get up here early so we can get to work. So I'm sure we'll get after it here soon.
Who'd you come in with today? Just you, or did you bring anybody with you?
Me and the South Carolina linebacker. Yes, sir.
Okay, I didn't know if you
Yes, sir.
agent
Oh,
or
no,
anything
no,
like that
no,
travel
sir.
with you.
No,
Okay.
sir. Nope, no, sir.
Have you heard from any of the offensive linemen other than Amarius?
Yeah, I've heard from Ted. Yeah. Oh, yeah. In Orlando. Yeah. Yep. Just welcomed me in, called me, and just made sure that if I needed anything to let them know. So.
They both called you?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Not even a text?
Orlando texted me. Ted called me. Yes, sir.
Did Ted offer you a Cincy hat?
No, not yet.
He will.
Yeah, I need to get one here soon. A little sweatshirt or something.
I'm surprised it wasn't part of the draft.
Yeah.
Were you working out with anyone in particular kind of during the draft process, or any trainer or anything, or at Georgia? Or?
During the draft process, not really. I mean, just traveling, it was hard. Going from place to place, really only having like a 3-day break. Tried to get with Paul Alexander throughout the combine process. So he was coach here for a long time. So
Offensive coordinator Dan Picture was talking about with us ratcheting up the competition for spots, especially along the interior offensive line. How do you embrace, the competition that you're going to be entering?
yeah, I mean, like kind of just what you said, like embrace the competition. This is a very highly competitive league. And if you're in this league, you're here to compete. So just put your best foot forward every single day, and just do your best to compete and grow every single day. I think that's really what it's about. It's just continuous growth.
What do you plan to do to learn about the culture inside this locker room?
Yeah, just meet these guys. Put faces with names and just kind of admire and sit back and take pieces from everybody's brain, pick brains, and just put it all into my own little bowl, and just get to know these guys on a personal level, and just really make deep connections.
What do you think it's going to be like when Joe reaches out for the first time?
Oh, he did.
He already did?
He did, yes, sir.
How'd that go? Text, I see?
Yeah, yep, he texted me. It was awesome. Yeah, he just let me know if I need anything to let him know that he's excited to work.
You were a 2-year starter. So then the year before, were you and Amarius on, for lack of a better term, scout team together, going up against that crazy defense?
Mims wasn't on scout team. Yeah, no, Mims was getting that work in. But yes, I was putting in my due diligence and being on scout team. Yeah, but Mims was always giving me great encouragement. He was always there, just being a good guy that you could just kind of get around. He's one of those people that he really does light the room up. He's got an infectious laugh. When he laughs, I feel like I just start laughing for no reason. So.
Do you have a favorite, or most memorable wrestling match or moment of all the time you wrestled?
Probably just the last one, state. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, probably the last one.
What's that like? How different is that environment compared to being, between the hedges? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is the rush similar, or is it a very different feeling for you?
I don't know. I think a football game's different. I think at every, obviously I went from high school to college to now here, and I mean, with every level that you jump, it gets more intense. And I think that's really like the thrill of it. So yeah, it gets more intense for sure.
Do you know Shamar at all? The first round pick, Shamar Stewart?
I don't know him. No, sir.
Go ahead.
No, I don't.
What about Jalen Rivers? They just picked him.
We have my coach, one of my high school coaches actually ended up coaching him. So we got a little connection there. I'm not sure if he knows that, but yeah, we're definitely going to connect on that. So yes, sir.
Dylan, is Amarius the most talented offensive lineman you've ever played with?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, that's a hard question to answer. I've played with so many great guys, so many talented people. He's for sure for sure gifted. You know, I'll tell you that. Like, he's definitely a gifted player, and he's a great player. And I'm super, super excited to get to work with him again.
That was yesterday, like with Tate, you, and Jared all going within 30 picks of each other. So.
Oh, it was awesome. You know, I think we were all kind of thinking of each other. You know, we all called each other. We were texting each other the whole time, just trying to, you know, lift each other up, no matter where we fell, no matter where we were placed at in the draft. And we were just lifting each other up, thinking about each other, and it was just awesome to see each other go. It was just a huge blessing for us. For sure.
Were you guys wondering which one of you guys might end up in Cincinnati, considering that, you know, that both Pitcher and Scott Peters came down and we're talking to all of you guys down there? Were you guys kind of talking like one of us probably is going to end up in Cincinnati, right?
I mean, yeah, I'm sure we all kind of were assuming the same thing a little bit, you know. I mean, we didn't know who or what, but yeah, I mean, we hoped one of us at least impressed, you know. So I'm sure, I know they did too. So yeah, I mean, for sure.
As a lineman, is there any extra pressure knowing that you're going to block for, you know, one of the best quarterbacks in the game? I mean, what's that like as you prepare, knowing what you have behind you?
Yeah, I mean, pressure is a privilege, you know, and I think that's just, it's natural when you play in this league. You know, you're going to feel pressure, you're going to feel a little bit of anxiety, no matter who you're blocking for. You know, I think if you don't feel a little bit of pressure, something might be wrong. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a privilege, and it's a blessing for sure to be able to feel that pressure. So,
Dylan, did you get any interest from college wrestling programs?
You know, I had Cale Sanders call me, and you know, that was a huge honor, and not really a goal, but like it was just a huge milestone in my wrestling career. You know, I mean, I had a Penn State offer for football, and you know, he just gave me a call and was like, "Hey, like, you know, if you want to wrestle, come on, let's do it." So I mean, that was really cool for me. Yeah, just growing up, learning about him. You know, obviously he's super, super highly talented and accomplished. So yeah, it was huge. Yeah, for just to be able to talk to him.
Yeah. What you were telling Ben about pressure is a privilege with back-to-back state championships, right? Undefeated.
Yes,
Were you just sticking guys right and left, or did you have any close?
Not at first.
matches?
Not at first. They were, you know, my first 2 years were, I had to go through some of those growing pains as a high school kid. You know, I think I was like 220, wrestling 285, so I was going against some big dudes, you know, as a younger kid. But, you know, I had to grow into my body and just grow into that role for my high school, so.
I mean, like when you got to districts and states, did you go to overtime? Did you have some really tight matches, or were you just, by the time you got junior, senior year, just blowing through guys?
Towards in the junior and senior year, yeah, I mean, it was, you know, I was trying to pin everybody for sure. So, yes, sir.
How impressive was Scott Peters' like MMA and his BJJ background? Like, how much did you talk to him about that? How much were you aware of that? When you got to know him a little bit?
Yeah, it was awesome. You know, my agent and him are good friends, and you know, I immediately connected with him. You know, I think that's awesome. I personally find it really cool. I love MMA. I love the UFC and just all divisions, all branches of that world, and I think it connects with football. You know, and we just kind of connected on that level, and it was just super cool to be able to do so. So.
Why does that matter so much to connect with his position coach, especially as an offensive
lineman? Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, you got to be able to ask hard questions and feel comfortable to be able to go to your coach and put work in with them. You know, I mean, if you don't feel comfortable, then you know you might not, you know, you could avoid work. You know, you just want to have that relationship. It's just good to have that relationship with a coach, and just to feel comfortable, to feel open to ask questions, and to seek answers from him. So.
Thanks, Dylan.
Nice to meet you, Dylan.
Congratulations. Nice to meet you.